first off, say thank you guys for joining in, all you guys that are here. Really excited for you guys today, that you guys are here, joining in for the 13th. Today is March 13th, and this is the 13th episode. This is a woo-woo episode. It's gonna get far out. It's gonna get a real like spiritual, and I lit up some sage and stuff. So I definitely set up the space. So I'm gonna take a little another intermission break. Today's episode, the 13th episode, right? It's a spaced out Odyssey, 2021, a spaced out Odyssey, inspired by Stanley Kubrick's film 2001, A Space Odyssey. So this poem right here is called Operation Monolith, and yeah, you guys will get the vibe. This is the theme, so this is kind of a spin-off of the theme for today. So I'm gonna take another intermission break, and then we're gonna jump right into it. You can no longer deny the your fellow citizens' distraction. Our execution of Operation Monolith is soon to finalize. In the glare of your eyes is the dimensions of your demise. Yeah, that was Operation, hey, what's up, Heidi? That was Operation Monolith, and that was inspired by 2001, A Space Odyssey. I just want to say again, welcome, and thank you guys for joining in. So it's kind of, I like to call it like red pill art, but you know, you could call it what you want. It could be alternative, truth, and things of that nature. So that's what the show is about. It's just me, the host, a conduit coming here, delivering a bunch of the art that I've been suggested. And ever since I stepped into this show, stepped into hosting the show, like the stuff has been coming to me, like whether it be from, you know, Lee or the people that I know in Autonomy, or just like fellow like friends and things of that nature, or just from like social media. And these things just been coming my direction. So I'm literally like the conduit. I'm in the middle, I'm the medium, and I'm bringing it here in this show, and I'm really thrilled. We're gonna start with the recommended reel, which is the suggestions that I have. I have about 8 recommendations that I got lined up for the show. So I'm gonna show you guys the spreadsheet, the Google spreadsheet that I've been working on. This is the Renaissance Revolution Art Dealer Suitcase, Red Pill Suitcase. And this is where I compile all the recommendations and things of that nature. So I have a bunch of playlists that I do that with. I have playlists and this spreadsheet.
That looks great, man. Man, you've done a lot of work. That makes me want to create stuff to get on your list.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, you know, we got to bring it, right? This is Renaissance Revolution. You know what I'm saying? This is the Renaissance. This is the art that is going on in the dark ages, the dark age, so to speak, right? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the outside world, right? So I want to be able to spotlight the beautiful art that is showing what the world is looking like, and things of that nature. So I could have elaborated that more fluidly, but I'm getting better as I go. Also wanted to go into my merchandise, my merch. I have my merch page up. I just put it up again. So for anyone here or anyone that's going to be watching this replay, I have a promo code for 15% off. It's JTP21. So you guys, it's not going to be working for Threadless, but for Teespring, it'll be here. I only have one design on this website, on this Teespring, but I'm going to be updating it and adding more designs. This is the one I have right now. Is there a better metaphor? Oh, so let's jump back to Operation Monolith. And the monolith, some people say that the monolith is your screen, is your phone, right? If you check out the film, it's kind of like a little metaphor of like the tube or your phone that's constantly watching you. So the whole poem was kind of with that in mind. In the dimensions of your eyes, right? The dimensions of your eyes, in the glare of your eyes is the dimensions of your demise.
It feels like a pathway. It start like a pathway wherever it's going, you know. Like it feels open, like you're headed somewhere with it for sure.
Yeah, and I think it'll kind of trailblaze or transition into the poem that I wrote for this uh, show tonight, for this event tonight.
You mentioned the monolith, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know what that was. So I'm like gonna like do my research on that, because when I heard the poem, I mean, yeah, it gave me like that red pill feeling. So.
Good point. Yeah, the monolith is like, so in the movie 2001, right? There's this like space exploration, and I think on the moon they find this big like, tablet looking like giant monolith. Like it's literally like a rectangle, right? It looks like something that you'd see inside of like exhibit, right? This big rectangular like marble looking thing. I know Heidi says she saw like the article or the news pieces there was a bunch of like monoliths that were showing up all over the place in California. It was a really strange phenomenon, right?
Yeah, weird spots in the desert too, like
all over, like just popping up across the country, and then it disappears, and then it pops up. Art installations. I mean, monolith is just like a singular stone structure of some sort,
right?
Usually like through erosion, whatever, but it's kind of like a point, like in a path. You see something, it stands out, and it can be some type of guidance in a way. There's something to it, maybe, and in 2001, definitely like it's meant to bring your attention to something specific.
I love being able to come into a mastermind because I don't know everything. So coming together with a group of people, like we have way more understanding and way more bandwidth to be able to explain things. Yeah. Hopefully that explained it for you, Sebastian. Sweet.
Right on. Nice to meet you, Sebastian. Your brother is awesome. Awesome human being. Love your brother. Great guy.
He's a cool dude, man. He's not cooler than me, but nah.
Spoken like a true brother.
Lee is Pablo's unofficial hype man.
And then they had the monolith, and everybody was looking at it, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And now it makes sense. Like put two and two together. I think it was like scary movie or something.
See, that makes sense that it would be in Scary Movie because it's a basically a parody of a bunch of movies, and I'm gonna this is breaking right here. I mean, this is a Renaissance Revolution where things make sense, like that's what happens in the show. Things start to make sense. You feel me? We're gonna get into the recommended reel. The first recommendation is a rap song. It's called Problem, Reaction, Solution by Flip Tricks. So I'm gonna play that for you guys. Let me pull this up.
Yeah, it's 2020. The end of the world as we know it. Let me drop some realness right now. Listen, I'm bunning weed like nothing really matters. I'm going mad like I'm running with the trackers. But I'm not, I'm on the knowledge till I'm shook like maracas. Going so deep why I think I'm turning crackers. Burning midnight oil plus all the candles. In problem, reaction, solution. They all cause the trouble trying to make moves on humans. I'm sat in the room with a pen trying to make my own movement. Zooted. The pandemic, biggest scam in human history. Scamdemic. Fuck the mainstream media. Fuck the lies. Fuck the new world order. One love. I represent that peace, that love, that unity, that high vibration. For the mother-ucking nation, future still informed. That's the statement.
He had a good message. He had some interesting information and some graphics and stuff, but I wanted some more beauty. Like maybe somebody singing problem, reaction, solution, or like a beautiful woman's voice. Whenever there's like a male-female thing, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's something to think about, right? When putting out content or just something, right? Adding the masculine and the feminine and doing it, whether it be, actually male, female, or like you said, having maybe more different forms of media to relay the message. So yeah, that's some good feedback.
And it's all about that perspective, right? Like giving a different view, a bigger view, a side view, a round view, and like you're saying, like the let's incorporate a solution with it too, and like just building vision, like continuing to create that, like whatever it might be, even if it is creating the solution. Let's build some different some viewpoints into it.
Yeah. Well said. Well played. Nice hand.
That thing I just threw in the chat is from a conversation I had with Damien, our friend, our autonomy brother in France. Because I asked him about that Hegelian dialectic thing. And he said, something to do with, he says that label is false. And he said it might lead to distorted historical philosophical misunderstanding. He calls it a tactic that exists, the false opposition tactic.
I love that we could challenge things, right? Sure, challenge the whole concept of the Hegelian dialectic. Why not? Like, I like the fact that if there's someone that's going to challenge that anyway, I would imagine it's Damien. And here, so for the show, I this card right here is for the winner of the best dialogue, the best response. So Heidi, you just won a 2017 Toyota Yaris coming to you through mail. Look out.
It's all right. You can keep it. I don't have parking here. Like I'm not doing that anymore.
I'll just send you crypto then. I got a comedy clip. This is by Owen Benjamin. If you're not familiar with him, for the people that are watching or whatever, it's going to be a little triggering. He was kicked off of many different platforms, and he's great. He's hilarious. This bit is called Racism Song. So before anyone casts any judgment, just check it out.
Here's a song I wrote called the Racism Song, because I think, I don't know, it's a good song. Black dudes with more than one pit bull scare the shit out of me. But a black guy with a cell phone on his belt, I trust. White dudes with teardrop tattoos scare the shit out of me. But a white guy with his son who's holding a balloon, I trust. Well, I don't like when hipsters complain about the patriarchy. I'm like, I get really annoyed when people eat soy. It's like the bones shine in Siberia. It's full of oil and precious minerals, but no one can get to them because of the hate. And you're like, well, I killed a chicken once and I compared it to Matt Damon.
Yeah, so that's Owen Benjamin. He has some pretty good stand-ups. He's good. He has some good material. Anybody familiar with Owen Benjamin here on the show? No? Probably a few. There might be a few reasons. They literally blacklisted him. Like, he's not on YouTube. I mean, there people posted, like, reposted his stuff.
He's banned from TV?
Yeah, basically. He's banned from, like, yeah, and he was, like, Hollywood. Like, he was really Hollywood. Like he said, he was on, like, an Adam Sandler movie, and he was on Comedy Central, and he was blacklisted. I'm not sure if it was for that stand-up, that little skit. That, like...
No, it was the pedophile thing. He took hits because he called out on pedophilia and talked about how that was, like, systemic, and then was making jokes about it and was talking about it a lot. And that's, I think, why they wanted him off.
So the next bit is a progressive rock, like acoustic song called Remember by Ben Joseph Stewart. This is kind of what I was really excited to share.
Song I'm working on now, getting the lyrics together. Don't got a name for it yet. Everything made of the flash turns back to the soil. It walks in ash and sleeps in dust. Blood turns back to oil. And we use it, we abuse it, and we stop when she runs dry, only to wake up from the pattern just in time to say goodbye. And this is an echo of a truth inside my mind, stretched across that false divide to the soul of your design. And take the time to open up your mind, 'cause you're gonna need it. You and I were here before. Remember, the virus is designed to help us grow again. You and I were here before. Remember who you are. Just remember who you are. Just remember who you are. Who you are.
He's like comforting you, letting you know that, you know, you're bigger than what the you know, systematic issues are. You know what I mean? And just reminding us that we belong to this, that we belong to the universe. You know, we're stepping into a whole new agenda. You know, I don't think what it was 2018 is what is going to be, you know, 2021, 2022. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, like, remember, it gives you like a nostalgic feeling. Like, even just the title itself, without hearing the song, you're just like, damn, like, I remember I was outside chilling, no face mask. Now I'm out here face masked up, you know what I mean? So it's like, it kind of makes you go inside your brain too. I mean, virus is good too, but it's like, you know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give it enough. Like, I think virus sells it short, for sure.
Yeah,
I think
well,
you're right with
well
that.
played.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I think Remember was totally fine. It resonated with me as Remember even more, specifically because that is an intention of mine going on this trip.
Yeah.
Encountering Mother Aya and being able to like remember. The next bit right here, the fourth suggestion here, is a short clip from the interview that I did with the participants tonight, Lee. So this is a Khaliq Sim, the poet that is, was, and ever shall be becoming interview with Lee, the Wayfinder, from during his at his show, live show Love and Support Sessions on Thursdays at 9:30. Lee is a phenomenal. Honestly, Lee, you're a really great host. You ask some really phenomenal questions and you bring a beautiful energy. And I was so thrilled and happy to do that interview with you. So I'm going to share a 4-minute clip of the video.
Well, I'll just end with, you know, to me, the fact that, you know, you've kind of demonstrated, you've been a great example, you know, like in this interview, for example. I mean, just the way that you've been very upfront and straightforward about who you are and where you're at and what you've gone through. To me, that's, you know, that's such a strength of character. But what, you know, in that regard, what is it that like you really hold dearest about yourself in regard to your own character?
Great question.
That's a really good question. Let me ponder on that for a second. I hold dear about my character. And I may never get this question right each time I answer it. You know what I mean? Like, there might be a different answer every time, but I think for this round, I'd like to say there is this spirit inside of me, you know, that wants to, you know, go with the flow and change, you know, change. And it's just this urgency, spirit of urgency. So I do respect whatever experience I went through in the past lifetimes, because I feel like it has given me this tenacity and this urgency to date, you know. So like I definitely don't think this was my first, you know, like we preface this show, this is not my first rodeo. I feel like I've been here many times, and I think this time I've taken a lot of lessons, and I feel like I'm now ready to expand, so to speak. So to answer that question, I appreciate the experiences because it has led me to where I'm at now, 100%. I remember. I'm starting to remember. Great question, man. That was solid.
Okay. Last night, you know, getting ready for, you know, trying to sleep. I have difficulty sleeping when I know I got a show coming up the next day, but I couldn't. And so I wrote something down. The title of this piece is Khaliq Sim. When all we know is how to cut, the whole world bleeds. And that is why Mitose, the Grand Master, told us to look for the similarities. Now I'm interested in discovering a thing via its essence so that I may greet it properly. Khaliq Sim, have you ever wanted to be a hip hop legend? I know you're an author, a father, a lover, a son, a brother. In my sky, you're a legend.
So there's a few reasons I chose that little clip, because I had that little tidbit where I was talking about remembering. So to be able to put it after that section of the song "Remember" was pretty cool. Let's move along to this is a comedy skit, a movie trailer. It's a movie trailer, a comedy skit by Tim J. Dillon. This dude is funny, man. This dude has some good stuff. And this is a short one. It's like almost 2 minutes long, but it'll make you laugh if you get some of the context. Here we go.
Tommy, I called you to talk about Dad and money. Dad owns 100 Bitcoins, and he's got them in a wallet on the internet.
The wallet's the internet? What the fuck are you talking about?
If we get the password, there's millions of dollars in there. Elon Musk started a new type of money.
Who is Elon Musk?
He was an astronaut, Tommy.
I have $17, Timmy.
That's not good.
Yeah, big fucking surprise there. Your father was a real class act.
It's gonna be okay, Tommy. It's gonna be okay.
We're trying to get the password.
Say something.
Yo, where did you find this?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, Tim Dillon is hilarious. He's funny, and
Is that for a real movie, or he just made like a trailer? Like
it's a parody.
That's hilarious. Who's
Yeah.
that? Who made that thing? He's getting
Tim
the
Dillon.
ass.
I'm shipping it to him right now. It's
That's
going
it.
there with Dogecoin.
Yeah, that's how you paying for it.
Dana Diaz is here too. So welcome everybody again, whoever's joining in.
Hello.
We were talking about wiping our ass with money, so good time to jump in.
Great segue. Great part to come in on.
And the video too, right? Like the wallet, right? It's like the weaponization. So that it's meant to, the crypto thing, they say, is meant to liberate people, have some control over the value and how they save and how they buy things or send money to people that they love or care about. And then you have the two guys, the brothers, fighting and, you know, all this conflict.
Anyway, the next one, the sixth recommendation is an animation. It's an animation video with some indie rock in it. It is produced, it's called The Turning Point. It's produced by Steve Cutts, this really cool animator. You guys may have seen some of his animations on YouTube. Some really great animations. And the music is by the Wantaways. So I'm gonna share that. I can't get that song out of my head now. Say something. Let's go for it. Here it is. Enjoy, guys. Turning Point.
Nice.
Definitely
Best
gave
in show.
Animal Farm vibes.
Really well done. Like Yvette said, it definitely gave me Animal Farm vibes. And it was well done. The music was great. The animation was great. It definitely served a good purpose. And that's the purpose of art. It just does, like, we could wail about pollution and shit that we're doing to our planet, as you know, from the top of our lungs, but when you animate it and when you give it life in that sense, it does something different, right? It kind of relates different. And just the message they were doing, like, you see the metaphor that they were giving, it's just cool. It's cool. I'm glad I was able to bring that to the community and to you guys. And like I said, I'm gonna have the show notes, so everything you see here, I'll have them for you guys, whether it be on whether it be in the Discord or on the Google spreadsheet, or wherever it is. You could just hit me up if you need like the video. What was that video again? I want to send it to my asshole friend or whatever. It doesn't have to be that. I was just messing around. But anyway, yeah, if anyone wants to say something else about that, I'll give a little minute.
So that's why there's no humans in Zootopia.
Yeah, no, well said, Sebastian. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is something I would totally show my 7th graders though, and be like, what do you guys think? Sometimes I like to get like that 7th grade perspective a little bit and see like what's the pulse from the youth on the world there. Like, I get surprising answers a lot of the time.
Yeah, you're in a really interesting position, right, as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be able to present some of these ideas and get that dialogue and that feedback.
Yep.
I also do get a little weary about some of these concepts, right? Because I remember when I was like more of an activist, like a political activist, I was very much about like all this stuff, and it took me away from my local community. Like, I was so much consumed in what was going on in the world, overseas, this, that, and the third, that it took me away from my own community. So sometimes I get a little bit weary about some of these like images, right, that we give ourselves that are like, oh, look at what's going over 3,000 miles away from us, that, 10,000 miles away from us, that we really can't have can't really do much. Yeah, we can, but also I remember being in that position as an activist and allowing these pictures to play with me and these agendas to play with me and take me away from like what I can do personally here right now at this moment.
I think with all of that being said, I think if we strategize this to the max, a lot of this will stop. And it's number one, boycotting a lot of things, or boycotting a lot of organizations, franchises, and, you know, stuff that is totally unnecessary. Like, you know, unnecessary shopping. Okay. Yeah, that plays a big role in society. Okay. Let's boycott certain franchises that shouldn't even have that platform of selling things, you know what I'm saying? Like unnecessary things, especially because it's not even like for us. When you have kids, they target the kids more. So it's like when they see videos and this and that, and they're like, oh, I want this, I want that. So if we boycott certain franchises, a lot of problems will be resolved off rip. So, yeah.
It's all about that consumerism, right? Like not just consuming products, but consuming information. And, you know, like you, what you were just saying before that, Pablo, like bringing it back to your favorite line from the song, remember that the virus, what did they say? What do you say? It's the
virus helps us grow again, or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that basically.
Moving along, the second recommendation is a rap song called Rich Man's World, also 1%. It's by Immortal Technique.
Preach this I spend my day peppering America overseas. Pension for the workers, nigga, please. Embezzlement, etiquette, private settlement. I'm better with Confederate rhetoric from my mansion in Connecticut. Foreclose the hoes out the tenement. I twist words like a speech impediment. I hope you got good credit, bitch. You protest cops and patrols on the street, but I bought city hall, so I own the police. Email, Facebook, and the shit you tweet. On the phone company, so I heard you speaking. My suggestion is no correction, no election, sex with no affection, no invention to benefit the world. A man will exist till I got the money in my hand. You know my CEO, Masonic steez, cheese. Only little people pay all these taxes and fees. Since you were born, we controlled what you watch and you read. And pretty soon we're gonna own the fucking air that you breathe. I take what I want, fucker, I don't have to say please. I convince you that it's good for you. Take it and leave. You think presidents are the face of a nation? I put them all where they are. End of the conversation.
Well, goddamn.
Right? Damn. The imagery is so good.
Jeez.
That's technique.
Credit is one way that they just fuck you hard. Like if you don't got the credit, then... But what is credit? It's like this invisible thing, this invisible number that's a calculation of a bunch of different things that like are all kind of up, down. If you don't have it, you can't do a whole lot. Doesn't matter how much money you got.
That's right. It's an invisible thing that doesn't really exist.
Yep.
Just like the invisible enemy, the virus thing that doesn't really exist. Right? It's just the perfect thing. You gotta have this. You gotta have this invisible thing that without it you can't get your house, your car, or whatever it is that you buy, or this kind of thing.
I'm gonna plug in my homegirl Lisa Manfredi on this topic of credit, because we have to change our whole. There's a few interviews out there. Chris McMillan did an interview with Lisa Manfredi. She does this chat for those who are in Autonomy or new students, or just for people that are going to be watching this in the replay. Yeah, she does a financial freedom chat. And also on that note, like besides Lisa, like just the whole concept of infinite banking system changes the game for, an individual, and taking yourself out of that position as being a pawn and, liberating yourself financially.
So when you're talking about like gangsters or, the thugs or whatever, the untouchables, like if you think about Pablo Escobar, El Chapo, even down to like, Tekashi 6ix9ine, the real gangsters, are the government, they're untouchable until, you say something that's like total contrary of what they're, about, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's what the whole concept is with gangsters and stuff. But damn, I was gonna say something else. Damn,
The Smoke and Mirrors.
I was gonna say something else. Yeah, that shit. It took me off track. But yeah, it's that song is real. Oh, the reason why I wanted to say this is because Immortal Technique, that was like a perfect person to play and a good song to play as well, is because when you look in the Bible, before Paul was Paul and he was like not like he was following God and running with God, he was Saul, you know, and he was in the streets and doing all this crazy stuff. And to listen to somebody like Immortal Technique is very good because he actually lived that life to tell you, yeah, these are the real gangsters.
This one actually was recommended by my mom, so this is a family affair tonight. Apparently. Imagine
bringing
this.
mama into it.
Right. Imagine this. You know, kind of young blood. Get a text message from my mom in the middle of the night, like, "Yo, you gotta hear this track." I'm like, "What?" First of all, it's 12 o'clock. Second of all, since when are you giving me recommendations for music?
Third of all, when do you know how to send links?
Yeah.
You called your mama out like that? Like,
I'm sorry, bro. Mom does not know how to use a phone, so that's kind of weird.
Proud moment, but yeah, she hit me up like, "Yo, check this out. Check this out. Survival." She knows I'm a big Bob Marley fan, so this was a remix to Bob Marley's Survival, and I love Survival. I love Bob Marley, and I had to share this tonight because it's just fire. I think it's a great. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna shut my mouth, put my mask on. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I know we're going over the show, but you guys are staying tuned, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. So let's jump into the next thing. Here we go. Enjoy. 6-minute clip. Buckle up.
We're the survivors. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're the survivors. How can you be sitting there telling me that you care? That you care. Survivor. We're the survivors.
Nice time gonna lead. No vex through drummers on the beat. No vex hip ton Grammy nominees. So we bad lyrically from where I we need. What the song wanna be. Could I drop it tune and do it all one a week? Hard work enough for our winning streak. That's all.
Some people got everything. Some people got nothing. Some people got hopes and dreams. Some people have ways and means.
The song itself, the original Survivor song is dope as hell. But like the song that you show now is even more dope because it actually has like straight descendants from Bob Marley reincarnating that original song, you know what I'm saying? So like but there was like a lot of good messages and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Check this out. This section right here, I want you guys to take a second and tell me which is your favorite clip. So I'm gonna post all the clips just in case you guys forgot. And here, you guys could this is kind of a timestamp for you guys, for those who may not be able to see the recommendations or whatever it is. I'm gonna post them up here. Boom, Control V. Right. So yeah, take a second. Just put what number was your favorite clip, and then we'll move on to the next one. I'll give like 2 minutes, and just tell me which one was your personal favorite. And let's just take a poll. I think that'll be fun, right? All right, go. You got 2 minutes.
Yeah, reggae is so good. The first time I tuned into Renaissance Revolution, you were playing Work, Bob Marley. I love that song. And he's not like work, you know, sweat and blood and tough. No, it's like work. We can make it work. And it just beautiful.
2, 3, yeah. Holy cow. No, Dana, you're going to have to choose one to break it. It's either 6 or 7. It's on you. 6. 6, 1.
Uh-oh, the mark of the beast. Let's go.
What you guys are seeing here is this is the section of the show where I spotlight Autonomy students. Autonomy is the program that for those of you who don't know here in the show, and for those who are going to be watching in the replay, Autonomy is like I like to call it a think tank, a personal development course, something that I'm a graduate from. And this, like I prefaced this show in the beginning, this show was the brainchild. This show came out from this program, and I just wanted to spotlight some and I'm still building up this spreadsheet, but this is a time in the show where, you know, I spotlight some of the artists in our community. So today we're going to check out Benny Wills. He's a season 3 student from my season. I'm season 3 as well, so repping that season 3. He is a poet, a host, a content creator. I just wanted to share, you know, for the students and our community in general, highlight some people. So I'm gonna start with him. He's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can find all the links here, but you know, his website, let's check out his website. Redirect.
Chris Mulholland. I wish he would come back. I sent him messages, no reply. I don't know what happened to that guy.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Yo, he's great.
You know?
A lot of the recommendations on this sheet is from Chris. So Chris, if you ever hear this, man, you know, answer Lee's message.
Come back, Chris.
Yeah, come back, dude. He's a phenomenal poet, and you guys are gonna see that as well. So yeah, this is Benny's page. This is spotlight for him right here. He has a Parhesia course that I participated in, and it was really great. It definitely helped me out delivering prose and like getting different techniques in that regard. So yeah, check him out. You know, this is his website. If you want to look at his stuff and whatnot, come through over here. He has his meme shows on Mondays. They're great. They're really cool. You could check that out to learn more. I'm gonna have, like I said, in the show notes, I'm gonna have this up here. Yeah, Poet MC, Parhesia Pathfinder. Yeah, man, we have some really great artists in our community. Like some really great artists just in the truth community in general. Like we definitely bring it. I think you guys have saw tonight that our community is bringing the heat. Like these guys, whether it be tech, whether it be the first dude in the beginning, or just the singers, the artists, the mainstream is definitely not doing their part in putting out some excellent content in that regard. So, but it's cool. They could have that. We have this. We have the other artists. So and we have here Brandon. He goes by Dissolving Illusions. He is a season 3 graduate as well, student, same season as me. He is a musician. He's on Bandcamp and Instagram. Let's check out his Bandcamp. And I'm doing this also, like, I want us to support each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, check out each other's stuff, whether it be a like on a YouTube thing or whatever you can do. Yeah, let's just support each other in our communities. That's what we got. That's what now we have to, but we should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's support each other. Let's, in whatever way capabilities we do. Yeah, man. Brandon is phenomenal. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say, Heidi?
It's like, because we believe in each other. I mean, I don't know anyone in the autonomy group that you're talking of, but like, I mean, this is how we spread it through different circles. Believe in each other. Like, what we're saying has value in all of its different forms.
Yeah. He's like grunge rock. He does like he's a musician, but he does all his work. If you're into like grunge, you know, just rock in general, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Also an amazing sound guy.
Dude, yeah, he's
what do you mean by sound guy though?
Audio. He does audio like restoration and stuff like that.
So like he's into engineering.
Pretty much. Something like that. Yeah. He wears many hats.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Brandon season 3. Check out his stuff. He has some albums. I think he's working on another album coming soon. So that's gonna be cool to hear in the future. Then we have Chris. It'll be funny if Chris pops up, right? Because I've been doing that tonight, right? You mention somebody and automatically they just come up in the show. So Chris Milholland, he goes by the name Short Cypher. He's a season 4 student. He's a poet and an artist. He has a YouTube page. He has two YouTube pages. One under the name Short Cipher. Let's just click that real quick so you guys can see that what that looks like. One, he goes on the Short Cipher, and another one is more of like he does like sound schemes and soundscapes and stuff like that. Like, he's really cool. We got some really amazing artists in our community, and I just want to showcase and spotlight them. We did a spotlight for him. I can't remember. You were there, Lee. I think Oscar was there too, maybe, perhaps. He showcased some of his work. This is his page, Short Cipher. He has some really great poems. To the Sheeple was a cool piece that he performed. And that's his thing. Check him out. Subscribe. Check out some of his stuff. Yeah. And Kevin Cole. Kevin Cole is a season 1. He goes by his group, or he goes by Mutual Concepts. Season 1 Autonomy student. He's a rapper and a content creator. He's on, you can find his stuff on Bandcamp, Facebook, YouTube. This dude, he took me off guard. Like, I did not know, like, this dude. I remember Oscar. I think it was Oscar that put me on. And I was like, holy cow, this dude is like, I would never expect this dude to be the one. I don't know why. I definitely stereotyped him. Don't judge a book by its cover, guys, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. All right. So here's the open call. The floor is open now. For anything. You guys can share any type of art. Let's take I'm gonna put a timer, and we'll do like what are we gonna do? I know
Oscar, you want to play something more for us? Play something, man. I love seeing your face.
Yeah, not today, guys. I am actually under the weather today.
Holy. We're not gonna say the word. We're not gonna say it. That Sebastian, he goes by the name THC Baby Marley. He goes by THC Baby Marley, and he's on Spotify, on YouTube, and many other channels. This is one of my favorite songs of his, and I think it's somewhat relevant for, like, you know, Renaissance Revolution, I guess you could say. So let me shut my mouth. Enjoy, guys. Random Thoughts by THC Baby Marley.
Lost a couple niggas in the streets from getting shot. All this pain I feel, I pray to God that you will stop. Hey, tell me, do you love me? Cause if not, I can do much better without being in a knot. This shit hurts for me to know that someone might just take my spot. Oh yeah, I will still give you everything I got.
The song is really about, like, it's random. I named it Random Thoughts, but the thoughts wasn't random. Basically, everything I said was what I've been through, but it just came at a random time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So when I made this song, I just really wanted to just put my feelings and put my emotions into a song, and, you know what I'm saying, let out everything I felt. You know what I'm saying? To a song, so that way I don't have to, like, live it. You know, like, you know how, like, you know that phrase where people say you live in your head, or you live in your thoughts. So I just, like, let my thoughts out. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I've been through.
I want to listen to more of your stuff to hear if you got a track where you're singing. And then also too, because of what you mentioned in Random Thoughts, I wonder what they said. I wanted you to say something about your daughter and your pops and what they said and what they did and what you remember, so that they live again.
I mean, no.
Get back to me. I got you. Let me go look.
Listen, we Renaissance Revolution, that happens every month. You don't have to do it now. And I know I pushed. The show was supposed to go to 10.
But it's like, you know, with the people that you're around and stuff, I kind of do want to let them know that, you know, with the song that I made, and just everything you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my brother has always been like a father figure to me, and he's always multitasked, you know. He's been like a father figure and like a big brother, and just been like a friend, you know, been a annoying ass person, probably like the half of my life when I was younger, but just seeing it now and just seeing who he is and seeing like everything that he's doing, you know, it motivates me and it motivates everybody else that's, you know, watching him and stuff. It's very uplifting, you know, because we don't have enough of this, you know. We usually have, you know, let's just watch some TV, or let's go party, or let's do some stuff or whatever. But this is like very educational. This is legitimate food for thought.
It's short. I just found it. I haven't had much inspiration to write for months, but you know, we're getting the group back together, the gang back together. So this, though, I wrote exactly 1 year ago from tomorrow. It's called Reach. There was the growing urgency. So a year ago was when everything was first shutting down and we weren't sure what was happening. And like, was I going to be able to go back to my students, to my classroom, to our daily life, to whatever? Like, we're all so apart from each other. So there is like an urgency to it that's meant to be there.
Context.
Yeah. So just a year ago, also the Ides of March. But okay, a little softer this time. Left to outreach, left without reach, out of reach, but right within reach. The implications are situated based on the situation. The needs of the individual are entering the station. The need for a community are mean to find one station in that situation, a novel implication that anyone else exploring is looking for the same thing, a time to be out of reach, but within the reach of the nation. The people who all keep us built and give us our identity, but situate the reality under lock and under key. Another moment out of reach, moved by the situation. Open up to reach out, to be within the outreach station.
Nice.
I think that reading it slower definitely did like implicate the uncertainty that you was feeling. Like I felt like I was able to really like understand, you know, that back and forth in your mind. You know what I mean? So I guess good job, Lee, for asking to read it again. And I know you've never read it out loud, so you know.
And find just the right pace for it. Yeah.
And it might be one of those pieces that, you know, it should be read at the pace you read it, because the context definitely gave you kind of this vibe of where you were. So to read it fast and then to read it slow kind of gives its own experience, which is, you know, cool to appreciate the wordplay, because there was a lot of wordplay there that was really cool. So yeah, poetry has that kind of
lilt,
you know, feedback, like expression.
That's what's going on. You talked about the Dead Poets Society. What does he say in that movie? The purpose of poetry is to woo women. Well, if you're a woman, maybe the purpose is to woo men, or this wooing, that's kind of thing, the seduction.
The stimulation of senses. The stimulation of senses is like what a really good, you know, prose can do, right? It could make your hair stand up. That's just art in general. Like to like jump off of that and share this piece right here. This piece is called My Audience. You know who you are. The bona fide skeptic, the mad motherfucker, the Mad Hatter, the rebel rouser, the conspiracy buff, the inhibited creator, the free spirit, the free thinker, the activist, the mentor, the parent, the lover, the freelancer, the entrepreneur, the autonomizer, the anti-establishment, the passion-driven, the psychonaut, the anarchist, the non-traditional, the outcast, the depressed, the agents of change, the hopeless, the insignificant. I write for you. Yeah, I want to share that tonight. I got the applause from Oscar. Thank you.
Hey, nah. I'm gonna tell you right now though, the way you did it is dope because the poem was like the closer as well. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of was like an overall, generally what we spoke about today.
That's what I was going to say, that the poem itself it's almost like just whoever you are, come as you are, sit down and listen and grasp anything that you can grasp, you know what I'm saying? And you're making it personal by saying like these are, you know, topics that maybe that you on your downtime, you know, enjoy, and you know, you're basically kind of thinking of other people who might enjoy those topics too, you know, or those many different characteristics that you may find in yourself, you know, that person sitting in the audience listening in. So I think that that's pretty cool how you kind of like, you know, gave it a personal touch, and really just kind of like brought in like just giving that platform of like, hey, listen, whoever you are, whatever you think, I love you type shit. You know what I mean? Like I like the whole idea of that poem.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Ash. You could take it away, Heidi. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I mean, so your poetry is usually super dense, actually, and like built with layers. Your words are layers, and this showed a lot of restraint in that. But you were very thoughtful and meaningful in each of the descriptors, and that speaks to, like Ash was saying, like that speaks to the different parts of each of us, you know?
And a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, for years, I mean, I'm sure, you know, just the human race in general have felt suppressed. So I feel like art really does allow people to, you know, kind of lay their hair down and be themselves, even if you don't share with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what we create is powerful. The tools, or even the words, or the way that we speak to one another, we touch one another, we inspire one another. Powerful, more powerful than any lion or tiger or elephant or crocodile, whale, hippo could ever be, you know? And that's just energy, something that is not necessarily something that's frozen, but something that goes out and affects other things.
It'd be nice to have the masculine and the feminine. Childhood is great, but we also have to have the space for maturity, because extended adolescence is something that has been put on us. Like, we have a lot of people out here walking around like, you know, extended children, and that's not, you know, that's being a child at heart is great. And I think one of the reasons I'm doing the ayahuasca trip also is because I wanted to have that kind of ceremonial process of becoming a man.
Or extended, you know, adolescence is a problem, but also, I don't want to say it's a solution, but I think there's something there that can be tapped into.
Valid.
But it's definitely something, and not to continue. Someone mentioned earlier about Jesus with the children and saying, you know, that children, he said, children are better than me. And true. And in that same passage, he actually said, come to me with childlike innocence, and come to me with faith like a child.
We've been mentioning, you know, I've been, you know, for the people that, you know, there's a few people here that are not familiar with autonomy, and maybe people that are like going to be watching the show replay. Like, here's one of the mantras I learned from, like, not necessarily from being in autonomy, but from being in this program and in this community. One of the mantras that I've been telling myself is, so one of the things I repeat to myself is, I tell the universe, give me the freedom, or help me create the freedom to make space for creativity, right? So like my whole mantra has been, and this, the reason I plugged in autonomy and just a program, and anything like this, any program that helps you to, you know, elevate yourself so that you can make space and make flexibility to be creative. Like, I am able to do these things and to churn out content on my page and to keep writing and stuff like this because I, you know, because of programs and communities like this that has helped me understand I'm not going to let somebody tell me how to live my life, because when that happens, that child becomes dead. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage people here watching, or what, you know, whatever it may be, like figure out a way to take hold of your life, get handles on your life so that you can be creative. Because it's hard to have the time to be a creative person when you have all this stuff. But when you add creativity into your life and you start manifesting that and start telling yourself like, hey, I'm going to live my life in a way that allows me to have creativity. And that depends on what type of person you are. Like, you know, if that's your whole thing, like, yes, you know, if creativity is more of a hobby for you, then that's one thing. But if creativity is your way forward, is your way to talk to the world, you know, like communities and things like that will definitely help out.
Every human life is immeasurably valuable, immeasurably huge and wonderful and beautiful. And when those people try to suck out like a vampire kind of thing, they're just getting a tiny little bit, even though that's what they want. They want that energy, they want that power, they want that value, they want that money, whatever it is from that human life. It's a small part of what that human life can accomplish, can be, when it's not being oppressed or controlled or forced to be small and silly. When it comes to you or I with these adult bodies, when do we really become powerful? When we have these strong bodies with a strong will, but a playfulness. The playfulness means that we can move and shift and dance and laugh and play and slide easily like a chameleon into any shape or form, no matter what the situation is. But at the same time, we have that adult body, the strong bones, the muscles, the mental focus. And like, no, I won't let this go. This is something that matters. Someone come up to you, want to interrupt your dance or your song, and you just like slide to the side and just keep singing. I was dancing around, and then someone came up to me and she's like, this is in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, years ago at university, like 20 years ago. She said, the way that you dance, you must be a really good lover. You must be really, really great in bed, this kind of thing. And that's what's going on, right? The way that we use these words, the way these things, people would, oh man, you must be so, you would be so wonderful to be around in that way, because the way that you live, the way you express your life, I'm sure that you would be so enjoyable, so warm and loving to be around in another way, a deeper way, a very intimate way. And maybe that's what we're trying to do with poetry, song, music, and dance, is welcome someone, just like host and guest, but a very intimate kind of thing.
So this track is Let Us by Delora. It's kind of a vibe for like this whole theme that I have going for you guys tonight. The 2021 A Spaced Out Odyssey. And when we come back, when we tune back in, we'll share any of the prompts that anybody written, and then we're gonna start wrapping it up. So I'm gonna play this. It's a retro type vibe song. Hopefully you guys like it. To get you either to write something about the theme, right? A Spaced Out Odyssey. So maybe take this time. It's a 4-minute track to either try to write something, not mandatory. or just meditate, and we'll come back in. We'll come back in. I love synthwave, and I thought it was appropriate for a spacey theme. So if anyone has like written anything or wrote anything along the lines of the theme 2021, A Spaced Out Odyssey, please share.
I mean, that was definitely a vibe.
Yeah, I'm giving it all to you guys. I'm leaving it. Like the playlist, everything. I just want to bring a really, a really cool show. And I'm glad it's a vibe.
Yes, a vibe.
Dope. That's cool. That's exactly what I'm trying to create for this whole thing. And like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. It's been I'm stepping into richer growth territory right here. This is this is uncharted territory. I don't normally do like long form content. So did anyone write anything? If anyone wrote anything, come forward now.
Yeah, I wrote some stuff down.
Ooh.
I do like the electronic vibe. That's like excellent dance music for like calming down, like rolling out the night, So it's kind of sounded like the vibe is like I'm trying, still going on, still moving on. So it was definitely like a happy beat, not like overly happy, but you're making it through, you're doing it in life. The graphics for the song were awesome. I seen like on the bottom, like it had like that checkerboard pattern. So like you're not on the checkerboard of life anymore. You had like I think it was like not a red. It was a yellow square. And then there was the earth coming up. So like we're leaving that reality and we're going to like this new dimension off of the checkerboard where, I seen like the middle planet was kind of like the pearl like a pearl. I don't know if it's Jupiter or what, but then you have like Mercury and then you have like carbon on the bottom. I wouldn't know what's like in the back, but it's kind of like what do you call it? Like the pearl, like an hors d'oeuvre, when you eat oysters. So it's kind of like the fork is going for that one. Like, what's the next best thing? Like, let's take it. And then you have like a beam shooting off of it. So it's like, that's pretty chirpy.
That's dope. Dana, are you a Autonomy student? Like,
I'm Autonomy.
Oh, that's cool.
Fifth season.
Fifth season. Woo woo. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in. That's dope. And also I know Nick. I think who's that? Is that Nick? I can't see his name now. I think I imagine his season 5, right? So cool. Thanks for tuning in and for those observations. That's cool.
I just listened to you guys, like Seb's song about his daughter and his dad, like condolences. I don't know what it's like to lose a child, extended relatives, but man, I can't imagine just having those thoughts pop up as you're going throughout your day, like happy or sad times. Like those bubbles just resonate. They come up for some reason or not any type of reason. But to hear like, you want to hear them say, I love you, like confirmation. So that was mean. So thanks for sharing that. And then Heidi, I really like what everybody was seeing, like just grasping, trying to grasp, reach for the next thing. Like I seen like a box being put over something and then move to the side, you know, or like that commercial with the guy that had it's like a fisherman and he has that dollar hanging off and he's got like, you got to be quicker than that, you know, but he says it slowly and smoothly. So like your delivery, like Lee said, like that smoothness, the slowness, like that really adds to it, you know, it really drives it home what you're speaking about. And then yeah, Khalid, the shout outs to your audience, you know, just talking about, you know, the weirdos, or you know, I know you never said that, but you know, everybody has their hats. Yeah. So it's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for those observations and those that feedback. That's prose right there. So even though you think, you know, it's not necessarily poetry that you're sharing, the way that you were able to extrapolate, remember, and bring it all together was, thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for that. With that said, I'm gonna share this piece. This is the prompt. I wrote, you know, I kind of followed my own homework, so I you know, I got to lead by example, so to speak. So there's a few for the editor in the room right here, for the teacher in the room. There might be a few like edits and stuff like this, like first draft. 2021, A Spaced Out Odyssey. I wrote this on March 2nd, right? So it goes, welcome aboard to the Greater Reset, a hyperspeed time machine, operating outside of the laws of time and space. In other words, laws a white lab coat can't wrap its hypothesis around. We are mission bound to hydroplane the elements, the eminent emergency. We purge urgently, fasten to the fervency. Nature heard the pleas, and now we please the pendulum's velocity. Buckle up, we're spacebound. We leap into hyperactivity, the broadcast from the next dimension. Release the tension. It's now or detention. We make our ascension, the bandwidth of the band with purpose. The depth like Kubrick, queued up like rubrics. Perfect timing. The crisis watch struck. Blast off to infinity and Odyssey, Odyssey, Odyssey. Cool. That's the.
That was awesome.
So Lee, whenever I see you grab your mic, I'm like, he wants to talk. So you got something to say?
You are such a kind friend. I really like hanging out with you, man. You're just so much fun to hang out. Like, ooh.
So, okay, some of you guys know that I have a PhD in sociology, and some of you know that I'm also a woo-woo person who has always believed that sometime in my lifetime I would experience a global transformation of human consciousness. I don't know why I always believed that. I just always believed it, and that's part of why I studied sociology. So what I am is somebody who has woo-woo ideas and tries to test them scientifically. And I believe that we may be on the brink of, some authors have called it a kind of epidemic of awakening, that individuals may actually come into a state that is more enlightened and therefore create a better society than we've ever seen before. That is not what seems to be happening if you have checked the news at all. It kind of seems to be going the other way. But very often, it is at the extreme of one system that another system comes in. Like in Confucianist China, which was very rigid, you got the Taoists coming in to talk about a way of thinking that was incredibly fluid. So sometimes it's like shooting an arrow. When you pull way back in one direction, it shoots things forward in an opposite direction. So here's what I think is going to happen, and it pertains to you, so please listen. The way our society is structured right now is like a pyramid. Here is a pyramid that I made myself out of sugar cubes. And it represents the power structures that come from the ability to force, to amass wealth, to kill, to harm, to dominate. And this is the type of social structure that's been in existence all over the world for recorded history, okay? The more powerful, brutal, violent people take all the stuff, they get to the top, they get power, wealth, and status, and the people at the bottom end up growing the grain to feed the monarchs, and they starve and they're miserable. And every society has pretty much been that way. Powerful elite at the top, miserable working poor at the bottom. And the sad thing is that when you go to revolution to overthrow it, which has happened all over the world in many places, many times, you get this awful thing where it just creates another pyramid. So when I was in China studying right after the Cultural Revolution, they used to have a joke. They'd say, you know, under capitalism, humans exploit other humans. But under communism, it's the other way around. Not so great. Like the communists didn't do any better a job than the landlords who came before them. So everybody has always known that there's something unfair and wrong about this, but everyone wants to get to the top. And right now we have a society of people who are desperately trying to get to the top, just like they always have. And it seems to me like it's getting weirder and more sordid and more awful. And I think a lot of you have been feeling that way. That's what I see on Facebook. That's what I see when I talk to people. So as a sociologist who believes in a transformation of consciousness, all my life I've been thinking, what would an enlightened society look like? Like if everyone was awake, what would it look like? What would the structure be? And what I came up with was it would be like this. It's just a pool of water. Yeah, I colored it blue for you. So everything is completely equal. And every person is represented not as by their place on the pyramid, but by a stream of energy that flows into the pool. And it creates that ring of concentric circles of waves that go out. So everybody has waves of energy that come out from them. And everyone's wave energy interacts. And sometimes like one high energy meets a low energy and they cancel each other out. Sometimes two waves meet and they create something called constructive interference, where the goodness really goes beyond what either could accomplish on its own. So I thought, okay, this is it. It's a perfectly still flat pool and we're all energy flowing into it. And our impact has to do with how authentic we are, how much of ourselves, our real selves, we are putting into this pool of goodness. And for a long time, I had the two in my head, and I thought, how do you turn a pyramid into a pool? How do you turn a pyramid into a pool? How do we turn this crazy, grubby, grimy, horrifying thing that is the power structure into something clean and clear and good? And then one day I realized all along, the pyramid has been in the pool. The pool has been forming around it. So here's what's happening, okay? You've got a group of people becoming enlightened, and they're below everyone else. They're lower than the rest of the pyramid. They are not coming in and winning. But from the bottom up, they are slowly dissolving the power structure. And the people who dissolve first, who give up the old way of being first, are the ones who have the least to lose. So they're on the bottom. They just absorb the people around them because they are made of inclusion and love. There is no conquering in this. The pool doesn't destroy the pyramid, it includes it. And it makes it into something clear and fluid and sweet. And the people at the very top of the pyramid are the last ones to know what is going to happen. This will not be a revolution, this transformation. It will be a dissolution. It will be an inclusion. And how do we bring it about? We dissolve the rigid power structures, the fear-based, needy, hungry, violent parts of ourselves. We dissolve that into the sweetness. And we do it by reaching inward to the heart instead of obeying the ego. In Asia, they say the mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. And the heart is the master that the mind should be serving. How does the mind serve the heart? One word, art. Well, a number of ways, but art is the primary one. There are certain people who breathe in their own authenticity. They go inside, they dissolve the obstacles to their own clarity, their own illumination. And then they find a way after that inhale to breathe out their message, their light, their energy, to more and more people, and the people around them start to dissolve and become more like that. That's what happened around Jesus. That's what happened around Buddha. That's what happened around Gandhi and Martin Luther King. It happens. It happens. Okay? So I know some people that I've talked to are really discouraged. It's like, why should we make art? Everything's falling apart. I want you to listen to a quote from Toni Morrison. She wrote this in a self-described very dark mood after George Bush the second was elected for the second time, and she was feeling really down. And she wrote, "This is precisely the time when artists go to work. There is no time for despair. There is no place for self-pity, no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. That is how civilizations heal." And may I add, that is how civilizations become clear and equal and sweet and inclusive. So I'm trying to do it. I was talking to my friend Liz Gilbert about how we've always used language to go in and find our hearts and clear the space in ourselves. And it's like an inhale, and then the exhale is how many souls can we touch with sweetness, with kindness, with equality, with love. And we're doing a writing course on that. You can see it in the link under the video. And this is part of what it means. This is all of what it means for me to change the world right now. This is what came to me. What's coming to you? Breathe in, find yourself, find your truth, become clear, and then watch all the rigidity in you dissolve, and then be that, and watch the people around you begin to lose their own rigidity and join you in this fluid oneness that is a transformed society. I hope this helps. And I'll see you on the internet.